I want to go on to a real estate market update. It's been a while since we kind of talked about kind of what's going on with the market, and I think gang, the themes have always been the same. You just heard me mention that the median price is going up. I guess the question I've got for you all is, what's changing? What's changing? Because we know the market. Dylan, is really funny. Somebody somewhere else on one of the Facebook posts in our group, I forgot, quoted you saying the market's bananas. So your bananas quote is getting far widespread use, and it's getting viral. But let's maybe talk about kind of what's been changing. What do you see as changes in the market? Why don't we do this? Let's go Heidi, and then Dylan, and then Scott. What's been changing, Heidi, that you've seen in what changes in the real estate market have been occurring, let's say over the past month or so, if any?
Well, I would say two things. One, there are a lot of people doing 1031 exchanges right now, selling investment properties, often on the mainland in other states, and then buying investment properties or rental properties on Maui. There's some concern that the rules surrounding 1031 exchange are going to change. So there's a lot of that activity going on right now. The other thing I've noticed is there seems to be some more residential condos coming to the market. Residential meaning full-time residents do not allow vacation rentals. And it seems like because we're coming to the end of the eviction moratorium and we're kind of through this COVID period, owners of these condos are feeling more comfortable. I mean, letting their tenants move on, or maybe the tenants are wanting to move on their own. And they just want to take advantage of all the price appreciation that's occurred recently. So, I mean, we are seeing some more listings in those kind of $500,000 condos that we haven't had for a while.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Heidi, for the update. Hey, a quick break over here. So we have a couple of comments. So let me put all your fears to rest. Gil says no politics, please. I've suffered enough from the last presidency already. Auntie Joyce, do not do a political show. We like the peace here and don't want to be like the mainland. So let me put it all to rest. We are not doing a political show. In fact, what I've mentioned earlier is that this is a fun place where it's politics free. We're going to enjoy the beauty of Hawaii and take questions about Hawaii and whatever you want to know about Hawaii, about real estate, etc. We're not doing politics, so don't you all worry. We are not going to do politics. All right. Next up, Dylan. What has been some changes that you've seen on the Big Island, say over the past month? How do you see the market morphing?
I'm in this national real estate group that we meet on Fridays and just kind of discuss what's going on all across the country. And people are saying, "Oh, I'm seeing more inventory in my market," or "Things are slowing down in my market." And my comment was, what's changing is instead of having to go 25 to 50,000 over asking price, you need to go 50 to 75,000 over asking price to get a house right now. So it's not slowing down. If anything, we're actually at the lowest number of active homes on the market right now than we have seen all year. So the inventory continues to shrink. The big data point that I saw this week was in June, the average condo price cracked 100%. So it was 100.29% for the average list to sold price for condos. So condos are selling on average above 100% of the list price. So continues to be on fire, continues to be bananas. And the thing that we are seeing, if you want to interpret a slowdown, is we peaked in April in terms of the number of properties that are selling. So it's coming down the last couple of months. But that's pretty much due to no inventory, right? I mean, it's not really due to the market slowing down. It's just there's not as many homes in the market to sell. So I don't know. If anything, it's getting hotter. If you're asking.
So the change is it's getting hotter. The change is more bananas. We're having more bananas.
Yeah, I mean, just anecdotal. I put a house on the market last week. We had 11 offers, 9 of them over asking price, most of them 50 to 70,000 over. I mean, so. It was, and this is one thing that's different, right? And this is what's going to slow the market down, is depending on the listing agent, right? My philosophy as a listing agent is I'm going to price the property fairly. If buyers want to overpay for it or pay more than what the fair price is, let them decide, right? And so there are some sellers who are being really aggressive with their price, and those homes are sitting. They're not selling right away because they're being unreasonable with price, and buyers are not going to be, unreasonable. So that's what we're seeing is if a property's priced properly, tons of activity, 3 days of open houses, and there's constantly, people in every single minute of the day, and then tons and tons of offers. So still nuts.
So still nuts and more bananas. So Scott, you saw that quote I get from Paul Brubaker, who I know that you're familiar with as well. He's very well known in real estate circles. The quote was perfect. Brubaker's quote was, "The thing is that all of a sudden everybody wants to buy a single family home and nobody wants to sell theirs, and that's the problem." Scott, what's been changing? What have you been kind of seeing changes on Oahu's real estate market?
Yeah, so I got really excited for this one. So, I dove into things. I dove into numbers from 2019 and 2021. So I'll give you some quick ones. But yeah, we were up 27% this past month. And year to date, we're up 21% in price on the single family home side. So yeah, it's getting worse. So if you're waiting to buy, don't wait. It's not going to get any better for you in the near future. It's actually getting worse. Days on market is 8 days. A home comes on the market, it's in escrow in 8 days or less on average. And what Dylan was saying about list to sales price ratio, we're actually at 104% list to sales price ratio over here. So on average, the sellers are getting 4% more than what they're listing it for. Sales from June in 2019 to June 2021 are only up 21%. But the interesting thing is the active listings are off 50% and the pending sales, which are escrows, are up 50%. So that's an indication for me. Pending sales or escrow activity that's going on now, it's not getting better. It's getting worse on the single family home side. So keep an eye on that. The condo, and I'll give you an example. I brought a Ocean Point home on last week, had 3 days fully open house, 11 offers. We're in escrow 120,000 over asking. We came on the market at $1,055,000. I actually moved. The guy that got into first position was not in first position at first. What I did, collected all the offers, then I started communicating and moving people where I need them to go, adjusting their contracts. And he came in, ended up, well over $100,000 over asking. So that gives you an idea that single family home side, we're easily looking at $75,000, $100,000 over asking. The condo side, though, is, to me, it's still a value, but it's getting ready to change. So if you want a good value, that you go into the condo side here, and in particular the high rise side, because prices are only up 6.1% and year to date. And if you look at interest rates dropped last year, and in order to offset that drop in the interest rate, prices would have had to have gone up 17.5%. So you're actually getting a discount in the value on the condo side, but the inventory is dropping significantly. The active listings are down 32%, and the pending sales are up 60%. So the movement is happening to the condo side. The price hasn't changed that much, but it's going to here soon. So if you want a good deal, go into the condo side.
That's great advice. So so this is what I really love about what we've been doing over here over the year plus that we've been doing the show is that we've always been kind of analyzing the market, and I can't think of any time when the things that we've told people, hey, we see this happening, did not happen. In other words, I can't see when our predictions. Now we're going to be wrong sooner or later. We're going to be wrong one day, but we haven't been wrong yet. So it's going to happen, but it hasn't happened yet. And I think you just gave a leading. So what I heard you say on the leading indicator for the condos, well, here's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that home prices are just, going through the roof. Think about that. It's like $100,000 over listing. It used to be that, a long time ago, you could have bought a home for $100,000. Now that that's just the increase over the listing price. But anyway, go ahead.
To give someone perspective on what that means, I haven't gotten a single contract in escrow on a single family home without going over asking and having a good appraisal clause contingency in there. If you don't have that combination, it's hard to compete in this market right now. So that those numbers relate to that. Yeah.
So I'm just kind of hearing basically, the crowded conditions, the premium conditions for single family homes are forcing people to kind of consider condos, and that's why the condos are heating up, but they're still kind of at a discount, which is